and we'll get started. So, oh, it's beautiful in Ohio. Listen, it's actually a beautiful day in Tennessee too, Miss Mary Margaret. It is gorgeous here, and the weather is just perfect, actually. Too bad I'm sitting inside. I need to start doing some of these from the patio, right? That'd be fun. Take the computer outside. All right. We are going to dig in this morning to something that I really think a lot of you probably struggle with. And so here's what I want to ask from you before we get started this morning, if you don't mind, is just be open to being honest about where you are and things that hit you. Um, be vulnerable and sharing that inside the chat. I think it's so important that we just recognize where we need work and that we're open to sharing it, because once we just say it out loud and we put it out there, it really does help us in such a big way, a real big way. Oh, hang on one second. I guess. Thank you. You got that, Lisa Ann? Thank you so much. Um, it'll just help us in such a big way. And that's really the goal. I just want to see you guys be everything that you are called to be. I'm trying to move this. There we go. The way my screen sits, and you got to get things moved around. Yeah, and here's the thing about not caring what people think. I think we all to some degree should care a little bit about what people think, right? Like we should I was having this discussion over the last week about showing up as a professional. Like, how many of you would agree there are times that we don't need to show up in our sweats and a t-shirt and leggings? Like, we need to show up and look professional and like art, right? And I think that goes to and can be combined with having a what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, we should just at the end of the day, I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, but like we should care about what the right people think, right? Not the wrong people. What actually happens is we care more about what the wrong people think. We're all tied up in, well, what is so and so from church or work or high school going to think, instead of it's the opposite, right? We're just not thinking on that clearly. Because, and let's face it, it's one of the, yes, selective caring, Aaron, that's so great. I think it's just like anything else. Like, the more we do it, the easier it becomes. And the less we do it, the harder it becomes. How many of you have ever had a routine of any kind and you let it slip and you stop doing it? Like, put a one in the chat if that's you. And that you find it harder to get back into the routine that you used to do so consistently because you simply stopped doing it, right? That means that and this is so important to hear, if we're not growing, we're actually unlearning what we've already learned. There is no such thing as you're just staying stagnant. You're either moving up or you're moving backwards. And so you just want to be aware of that. And this isn't even what the lesson's about today. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. But you just want to be aware of that. And I've been so hyper aware of that. And I've used the excuse, well, I'm busy. Like, and I am. There's no arguing that I'm busy. Like, I'm super busy. I've been traveling so much, and it's been easy for me to get out of a few of my routines. And then I'm finding myself, it's harder to get back into it than it was the first time I started it. And this is, I was thinking as I was driving this morning to go get my Starbucks, I was like, this is where winners and I'm thinking about for me. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Tina. Like, this is where winners and losers are made. Like, it's in the moments where you're having to fight yourself to do the right thing that you know you need to do to create the result that you want, right? And so let's get into the message I have for you today. It's actually, I titled it, You Are More Than You Think You Are. And so this is like, let me just do this. Let me ask you a question. Oops, hang on. Um, and I want you to just to sit for a second and think on it. And then I want you to be open to sharing it out loud in the chat, right? Do you actually believe, I mean, really, to your core, believe that you are capable of building something significant in this business? Let me get that here. Hang on. Wait a minute. Let me get to the comments here. I appreciate your honesty. Molly says, not always. Lisa Ann says, not gonna lie. Sometimes the answer is no. Um, there was one that I wanted to read. Courtney says, I like the idea, but I think I lack the faith in myself. I appreciate your honesty. Not every day. Mary Margaret says, I struggle with that. Barbara says, not sure. Adrian says, no, or nope would be the exact word. Connie says, I have the desire, but I don't believe in me. Tracy says, I do struggle, but I keep pushing forward. And Carrie says, I do not because I never have. And listen, I just really, really appreciate you being vulnerable and honest and your answers, because if we can get vulnerable and honest about where we are, we can then make the necessary changes to get to where we want to be. And that is what this entire lesson is about today, because here's how I know some of you struggle. Hey, I've been doing this a long time and I can spot it, right? Like I can just spot it and see it in people. Oh, I love that you said that, Molly. Molly says, when I say yes, I often feel like I'm faking it. Woo! That'll preach. That's a whole lesson right there. And Lisa Ann says, same. But the reason I say that is because I can see it in your activity and your action, right? And I don't even just mean activity in like the result. I mean in the activity in the things that you do and how you posture and position yourself. So we're going to talk through this. I mean, I really do believe a lot of you are doing the right things. Like, how many of you have agreed you've sent a script? Like, you can just put yes as I'm asking these questions. You've sent a script, you've made a list, you've got someone on an opportunity presentation, you've actually done a follow-up. Like, you've done the things. Like, you may not have done it as much as you need to, but you've done the things, right? Like, there's no denying you've done the things. And you're learning. How many of you would agree? You're learning. Like, you show up and you learn and you get on the trainings and you're taking notes and you're learning, right? And you're trying, right? How many of you would agree? Like, Tina, like if I were to say, and I'm just calling names I see on the screen, so don't think I'm calling you out, but like, Renee, are you trying? You'd be like, yes, Tina, I'm trying, right? But somewhere underneath all of that is this quiet voice that says, maybe not me. Maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. And we could go round and round and round with the number of things that happen in your head or that said to you, or maybe there's even some of you on here that have done it once and you are terrified you won't do it again. Maybe you've even built something in some other industry, right? Not specific to network marketing. And you're like, why can't I do it here? Like, there's all this internal noise that's happening, right? And sometimes we don't even know that that's what's happening. For years, and even still to this day, I battle and I have to take every thought captive that I'm enough, that I can do it, that I can lead the team, that I can go the distance. And I'm telling you that because I would love to tell you that there's a season that you'll get into inside of this industry specifically where it stops. Like, the noise stops. You're just living on a high note all the time and it's perfect and fine, but it's just not the truth. At least in not my experience. Maybe there's some unicorn out there that is experiencing that, but it's not my experience. And so I really want to dive deep into that today. And I want to talk about the ceiling isn't the opportunity. And this comes from John Maxwell. I want to dive into some John Maxwell today. And I mean, for those of you that don't know, he has spent 50 years studying why people reach their potential and why they don't. I mean, that's the simple answer, right? And the answer almost never, ever, ever comes down to talent, resources, or timing. It comes down to one thing. Let's see if any of you can guess. I know some of you are John Maxwell fans and you probably know the answer, so probably not fair to um for you guys to answer because you already know. But let me see if anyone else knows. What would that be? So somebody said belief, somebody said effort, yourself, confidence, all great answers, action, consistency, fear, action follow up. Well, this is what John Maxwell would say after studying. He's like the world's leading authority on leadership, right? Like he has helped more people than anyone at all ever. Okay. And he says, you will never rise above the image you have of yourself. You will never rise above the image you have of yourself. That's not motivational fluff. That's the law. The image you hold of yourself sets the ceiling on everything. Your conversations you're having, your consistency, how you show up on camera, whether you send the message or whether you just back out of the app completely. All of it flows from what you believe about you. And here's the hard truth. Maxwell would tell you most people spend their whole lives performing just below the ceiling of their own self image, not because they couldn't have gone higher, because they never challenged what they believed about themselves. And so, if I were to like paint this in a picture of how, like, for me, it was how could a girl like me? Like, I'm not educated. Um, I've done a lot of things that weren't extraordinary in life. Like, how could someone who spent a lifetime making bad decisions be someone who could be someone people would want to follow and look up to? Does that make like what is it for you? What is it that you believe about you that is keeping you exactly where you are? And I have to fight that. I have to fight it like quite literally almost every day. And anytime I've rose to another level, it was because I spent that season fighting to overcome me. That's it. I'm the only one. Lisa Ann says she's still fighting the voices that when she was growing up that said, I'm not good enough. I mean, I just remember like growing up, it wasn't a bad childhood. Like it was, I mean, it was good. Like, but there were, everybody has things happen to them, right? Like everybody's gone through their stuff. And I had a stepmom who, you know, looking back, I mean, it was the first time she'd ever been a stepmom. And she had these kids that weren't hers, right? Like I just have a lot of grace today. But I just remember, I mean, for sure, there was evident, it was evident I was the stepdaughter and her daughter wasn't. And so that then played into, well, if my own mom didn't want me, who else would want me? Now my stepmom loves her daughter more than she loves me and shows favoritism to her over me. And my dad, as much as my dad loved me, he was very busy trying to find a wife and his own purpose in life. Like it all boiled down to Tina was never enough. And what do you think happens? Like, why do you think the enemy fights so hard with children? If he can get you when you're a child to believe all the lies that he has you believe in, like Lisa Ann says, that you aren't good enough, that will follow you into your adult life. And then the evidence will present itself to you over and over and over and over again throughout your life because the enemy doesn't need to like keep coming at you with a whole bunch of different things. He just needs to keep poking that button that was installed in you when you were a kid, right? You're not enough. You're not enough. And so you continue to experience that, right? So What Maxwell would tell you if he were here today is your past performance is not your potential. He teaches that most people make the mistake of using yesterday as the measurement for tomorrow. Maybe it was a slow month, a hard season, a conversation that didn't go well. If any of these have happened to you, let me know. If you're in network marketing, they've all happened to you. If you're doing the work, they've all happened to you, right? Um, None of that is evidence of what you're capable of. It's evidence of who you were, of where you were. That is not the same thing. It's evidence of where you were. That's it. I sent a birthday message and um the lady responded to me. I mean, very kind birthday message, just, how can you be mad at somebody for sending you a birthday message? Right? Like, wow, can you be mad at somebody for helping you celebrate your special day? Well, you can. You can piss people right off, okay? And I did. The message I got back was like, "You're a scam artist. I'm a single mom of two, and you made me spend $1,000 and I didn't make any money." And I'm like, oh wow. And then I'm like, I scroll and I'm like, I don't even have another message with her. Like if I had written rolled her, there would be a history, right? And so then I go look her up in the back office and I'm like, who did I scam out of $1,000? Like, where did this chick come from? Couldn't find her in the back office. So clearly her Facebook name wasn't her name that she enrolled with. I still don't know. Like I don't know who she came through, but all that to be said, it really wasn't a reflection of me, right? Like it wasn't. It was a reflection of, if I'm guessing, her unwillingness to take action, right? Or work on herself. And that's just true of everyone, of each one of us that are on here. But I say that to say, listen, I had a conversation that didn't go well, right? I was like, oh, okay. And here's the shocking thing. We were still friends on Facebook, or I wouldn't have known it was her birthday. Why are you still my friend if I scammed you and you hate me? Like, why are we still friends on here? I don't get it. Um, but also too, I understand this, and myself included. Like menopause has made me unrecognizable some days. Like it is just when you have that drastic of shift in your hormones happening in your body, you're like, what did I just say? What happened? Right? Like I just snapped. And so sometimes I just chalk it up to they're just having a bad day. But anyways, don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. Most of the time, we're so focused on what we can't do that we're never focused on what it is we actually can do. What's one thing you've been telling yourself that you can't do? That, I mean, like, if you're being honest, what is it? What is the one thing that you've been telling yourself that you cannot do? Let me know. Well, Erin, you're never going to be a woman. I don't care how hard you try. Okay. You're just stuck being a dude. Be myself, talk to people, lead a team, be successful in this business, rank higher, recruiting, lead a team, hit a rank. So let's go through a couple of these. Lead a team. Boy, do I understand this one. No, here's what's interesting about this industry is nobody joined it to lead a team. How many of you'd agree with that? You didn't say, "Oh, I'm going to sign up and lead a team." You're like, "No, I just would like to make some extra money, and these products sound great, right?" And then because by the nature of what we do, you end up leading a team. But the first person you have to lead is you. And in my experience, when I'm not leading me well, I'm not leading my team well. All I do when I teach is from lived experience from leading me. And so if you can lead you first, then you can give someone the blueprint to do the same. It's just like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. It's just doing that over and over and over again. Be successful in this business. So Well, of course you can be successful in this business. You're speaking from past experience, not from future opportunity. Someone said rank higher, and that would be the same. Someone else said rank, a lot of rank high enough, a lot of rank, right? And we're going to address one more too that I see. I think it's important. Again, that is a belief, which is what this is, the whole thing is about. Belief is built by doing, not by waiting. Here's where most people get it backwards. They think they need to believe it before they can do it. Maxwell flips that completely. He says belief is a result of action, not a prerequisite for it. Every time you do the thing you were afraid to do, you collect a piece of evidence against the lie that you can't. I want to go back and read that again. Every time you do the thing you were afraid to do, you collect a piece of evidence against the lie that you can't. Let's do that one more time. Every time who? You do the thing that you were afraid to do, you collect a piece of evidence against the lie that you can't. So, what action is it you need to take? The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. And so, the real question I would be asking you is, if I were to come to your house and I would follow you around, is your daily method of operation match the goal that you've set for yourself? And that doesn't mean that it has to take longer. You have to spend hours upon hours upon hours. I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to work to get what you want out of this business. I actually believe, now having done this for 10 years, network marketing is one of the hardest things to do. And not for the reasons that you might think. It's one of the hardest things that you'll do for a few reasons. One, there's no one standing over your shoulder to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You have complete freedom to do or not do any of the activities. And that is very hard for people. Number two, comparison. Most people are so busy looking at what other people are doing that they're not focused on what they could be doing or doing better. How many of you would agree with that? And number three is you lead people. And people are hard. It just, there's no way around it. Like, there's some, you too, including you, you're hard. You're like, I can't stand here and tell you that this whole business is, anytime that's been something hard has happened to me has been because of other people. No, I've been the source of that. I remember I was having an issue with someone, even here at Trinont, and it was Angela Dunn asked me, she's like, well, what do you feel like your takeaway is? And I said, well, I can't fix them, but I could have done something sooner. I could have made these changes sooner, and it might not have ended the way it did. So I want you to have a realistic expectation that, is what we do easy? No. But most of it is because we have to work on us and the junk inside of us and our old filthy mindset that keeps us where we are, which is so interesting because it's the thing that you've seen most likely that was like, okay, well, if she can do it, I can. If she can overcome it, I can. My situation isn't even near as bad as hers. And so I could. And the truth is this, you don't build belief in a moment of inspiration. You build it on an ordinary Tuesday when nobody's watching you, and you show up anyways. That's where you build the rep. That's where you rewire your brain about the story you tell yourself. And then sometimes we, myself included, we're going to go for the gusto, right? Like we make it too big. We make it, we're going to do too much, and then we don't because we set the bar too high. What if you just did, so you guys know the story. My son and he was here yesterday. And, life's hard for him right now because of his choices. And I said, Tristan, you're thinking so far in the future about how far you have to go. What is the next right thing you could do? What can you do right now that moves you one step closer to where you want to be? Stop thinking 10 steps ahead. And I'm going to give you that same advice. What's the next right thing you need to do? Just one, but you can put it in the chat. Just one. For me, I need to work out. Talk to more people. Message, invite one person. Go for a walk. Consistent. But consistency in what? What's one area you could be and do one thing to be more consistent? Okay, and I'm going to challenge some of you on some of these. One of them says, be me and tell others about my excitement. Well, who? Who are you going to tell? Use my product. How many of you have products sitting there you're not using? How many follow-ups are you going to do? You have, like, if I've used like grandkids. Like if I tell the grandkids, if I showed you the playroom, you'd see what I mean. I'd be like, go clean up. They're going to go pick up a few things and put it in some bins, and I'm going to go in there and it's going to look like they've not touched it. If I say, Blue, you got out the Lincoln logs, you go put all the Lincoln logs in the tub. If I give him a very specific instruction, he'll do that. What very specific thing? This is where you have to get real specific with yourself. And then just go do that thing. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, it says, work at it with all your heart. Whatever you do, are you leading with excellence in every area? Why don't we just try to be excellent in the one thing we're going to do that moves us forward? The people who changed their lives didn't have more than you. They just made different decisions than you. Maxwell has spent decades interviewing leaders, entrepreneurs, and world changers. The one thing that separates the people who built something from the people who almost did, a decision. It's never talent. It's not resources. It's not a lucky break. A moment where they decided that the story they'd been telling about themselves was no longer acceptable. Life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. And this is where I want you to write down some of the choices that you've made. I'll just use some of the examples I've seen in the chat. Like, I didn't go for the walk.
In progress.
There we go. I didn't go for the walk. I didn't do the follow-up. I didn't make the post. I didn't take my supplements. Like your everyday, I'm going to figure that out. Let me ask. I'm going to do this and see. On average, how many choices do people make in a 24-hour period? Let's see that number. That'll be interesting to see. And this is wild. People make on average anywhere from 30 to 35,000 decisions in a 24-hour period. Isn't that wild? You're actually in control of your whole life. It's one of the things that God did is he gave us the right to choose. That's what people fight over on the internet, their right to choose, right? Good or bad, the decisions we're making every single day if you would just start documenting them, and not in a way where you're going to beat yourself up, right? But okay, this is where I can improve. Because remember, life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. I believe that some of you are one decision away from a completely different result. Not one more training, not one more perfect post, one decision to believe that you are actually capable of this and then act on it. I mean, you've seen people share their story. How many of you have seen someone in this industry share their story from rags to riches? And it gave you hope that it's possible for you too. It was just a decision that they made, and it's decisions all along the way. Like my first decision was, okay, these people aren't crazy. Maybe I'm the crazy one. And if they could do it, I could do it too. And then I failed and 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 I failed. Right. And just along the way, I made decisions that led to where I am today. And then I keep having to make decisions to get just to keep moving forward. I don't think there's a finish line either. I'm not looking at a finish line or even a rank anymore. It's, I just want to keep doing the next right thing to get closer to who he created me to be. So here's Ephesians 2:10 says, for we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. So he created us, we're his handiwork, created to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. God didn't make something incapable and then hand it a calling. If this opportunity is in front of you, that is not an accident. The question is whether your belief in yourself is going to match what he already knows about you. I'm not going to tell you what to do differently. You already know that. You already know what you need to do differently. What I want to ask you to do is make a decision right now. Before we get out of this Zoom, before you go back to your day and your normal routine, about who you're going to be in this season. Because this launch we're in right now, the results people are going to get from it are going to be in a direct proportion to what they believe is possible for them, not their skill level, their belief level. And I really do want that to be you. And I feel like some of you are hesitant to even go all in and take massive action as we prepare for this launch, because you're letting past experiences dictate what could be possible for you in the future. I was reading a post this morning about Elon, and he just became the world's first trillionaire. How crazy. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive that someone in your, while you're alive, became a trillionaire. Like, that's just an unfathomable amount of money. But his story it isn't that he just became a trillionaire. The story is he was building rockets. They kept blowing up. They weren't working. And he had enough money to do one more launch. And if it didn't work, it was just game over. It was just game over. But he didn't quit. And he didn't look at the past failures. He didn't say, well, I wasn't successful the first three. It may not have been three. I'm just making up that number because I don't actually remember the number of launches prior, but we'll just say three. Well, those didn't work. Well, if it didn't work for me before, why would it work for me now? Maybe you've been a part of a launch before and it didn't pan out for you. Maybe it did pan out for you and you lost it. And so that's wreaking havoc on you. Maybe you think, do you not think maybe he looked at other people and thought, well, how come so-and-so, it's not happening to them? Why is it happening to me? Or maybe this one, maybe there's people that you don't feel like deserve it and they got it. You're like, how could somebody like her? Like, oh, it makes me mad. She's not even nice. She's not good to her team. Why does she get it and I don't? And the reason I'm pointing these things out to you is because what does that mean we're doing? We're focused on the wrong thing. God made you capable. He put a calling on your life. There, I can assure you there's enough money out there and enough humans out there for every single person, not just on this Zoom, but in all of Trinot to be presidential Blue Diamond easily. Most people don't even know Trinot exists. They don't even know it exists. They've never even heard of it. Like they've never even heard of Trinot. I meet people every day. They're like, who? What do you do? I've never heard of that. I was in Eric Worre's studio for the event, the book launch. And people were like, what company are you with? They're like, oh, never heard of it. Right. How do you pronounce that again? Do you think that Walmart worries that there's too many Walmarts? Or do they just build another Walmart when there's enough people in an area to have a Walmart? Do you think McDonald's is like, well, probably too many cheeseburgers out there. We better not build another cheeseburger stand. What Dollar General? Oh my goodness gracious. I can go from here to my son's house and pass five. My son lives 20 minutes from my house. There is enough. Some of us just been living in our own little tiny bubble, internet world bubble, local town bubble, that you forgot there's a great big giant world out there that doesn't even know that you have the thing that could fix them. Oops. I want you to say this and drop this in the chat and write it on a post-it note and put it where you can read it. I am more capable than I've been giving myself credit for. Yeah, I wanted to share a story with you. So we have another business outside of Toronto called the Leader's Edge Consulting. And the kind of when Donnie retired, it was going to be that he would do some consulting because he's just so smart with processes and people. And he just is really gifted in that area. That's his gift. And that was cool. That was going to give him some purpose and meaning after getting out of corporate America. And so, anyways, long story short, he's like, I really think you could add some value. Like you could teach these people like they don't barely have a social media presence, and that's what you've done for 10 years. I'm like, no. This is, I'm just a chick that has done this, and I teach, my team, but like that, not at a corporate, like no, not a corporation doing tens of millions of dollars a year. Like no, I know. He's like, Tina, like, I don't think you understand like how gifted you are there. Like, I wasn't giving myself the credit. And so I'm just going to go and support him. Right. Like, that's it. I'm just going to go and support him. Well, he tricks me. Isn't that what any good husband would do? Just flat out trick you. And we get there and he adds me to the presentation. And by the way, Tina's going to help you with social. And I'm like, I'm ready to strangle him. Um, and so then they're making their decision whether they want to use the Leader's Edge. And their question was simple: is Tina going to be a part of the package? And I'm like, what? Me? What? What? And so I was like, yeah, sure. Yep, Tina will be a part of the package. And so I did it and I presented it, and I'll just tell you, something happened, something shifted. when I took the action, something swelled up in me, confidence swelled up in me. It was like, I do know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 10 years. I don't know why I thought I didn't know what I was doing. I know exactly how somebody can go from absolutely no following and get a following. I know exactly what they need to do because I've been doing it. It's like if you're a mom on here and somebody were to say to you, can you give me a roadmap of how to be a great mom? You'd be like, absolutely. I got 18 years experience. Hang tight. Let me tell you some things I would do and I wouldn't do. Right. And so, but hang on, the story gets good. So I do it. I make out a plan for them and it's a solid plan. I know it's going to work. If they do it, I know it's going to work. Like there's not a doubt in my mind it will work. But what happens? There's resistance. The people in charge of making it work don't want to do it like I've said. They're like, I mean, quite literally, they're like, what's this grandma know about social media? Isn't that interesting? Right. And so the very thing that the enemy wanted me to believe about me, they're now saying, not to me, but to Donnie. And I'm like, but they haven't done it. So where's the proof that I'm wrong? Like, I mean, if I wanted to prove you wrong, I'm going to do it your way and not get a result first, right? And show you it didn't work. Like, give it a good 90 days. Do what I said for 90 days. And if it doesn't work, then so be it. I don't know what I'm doing, and we won't ever put Tina in the presentation again. And so we went back to Canada and we had our meeting. And I was, trust me when I tell you, I was not offended that they said it. I understand human nature. And I was like, listen, I totally get it. How about this? How about we just try it the way that I've laid out for you and just see if it works? Like, here's some changes you could make on what you barely did, because they barely did any. In the very first video that they did it, the way I taught them to do it, got 76,000 views. It was their most viewed video to date for a company that's been around for decades. I am far more capable than I am giving myself credit for. And now they know that too. What is it that you're capable of doing that you're not doing? Because you're so afraid of failing. When the reality is you already are. You're already getting that result. You're already getting the result that you don't want to get by doing nothing. You're already getting it. You're already there. What is making you stay there? You already have worst case scenario. You're there. You're living it. You're living in worst case scenario. Nothing changes. Even if you go and you do all the things that we teach you to do and nothing changes, you're just still right where you are. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? That we're already right where, I want to pull up everybody on the screen so I can see everybody. Hang on. Here we go. So that means your cameras need to be on. I want to see for those of you that can't. I know some of you are driving, some of you might be at work. Like, I totally understand those situations. Please don't drive and watch Zoom. My husband would. My husband would drive and just about do anything. Not safely, right? Not safe. But you're already like where you are currently, the only way is up. You get that? I need you to get that. Like if no one signed up with you and you never got a customer, you're just exactly where you are. So that means it's all up from here. Everything you do good From here forward is just up. You don't go backwards. Your life isn't worse, right? Do we agree? It can only get better. Right. Don't be 3 feet from gold and stop. And here's been my experience in watching just humans. And since I've been here at Toronto, I had someone ask me yesterday, I was on a Zoom, and she's got experience in this industry, and she decided to partner with me here at Toronto. And I just said, I just love this place. And she said, "Can you tell me why?" I was like, "Oh gosh, yes." And I just start telling her why I love it. I was like, 4 years ago when I was looking for a new home, this is what I was looking for. And they've been those things. I didn't then, and I don't now want to bounce around and I don't want to do it. Not because I'm not capable. Okay, this isn't a fear like, oh, I gotta stay because I'm scared. I can't. No, 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 no. I just want to build and create a family inside of Trinot, and I don't want to do it anywhere else. Just like you, most people, I won't say all people, don't want to have to get married and remarried and remarried and remarried. Like you just want to find your person and just stay married, right? Like we agree. Like starting over now, I'm not saying it in a bad situation that you don't need to. Okay, don't get me wrong. Don't be getting beat, okay? Don't stay in a relationship and you're getting abused. Like there's okay, I'm not being like this overall statement. What I am saying is I just genuinely want to be here. It doesn't mean it's perfect. Doesn't mean mistakes haven't been made. But here's what I've witnessed. Every human that walked away, not one has been able to recreate what they had at Trinot. Not one. Some in the last few weeks have come back. Some are now on their second, third, fourth, even fifth opportunity, because what they're chasing is in a company. And you have something so special here. And if you haven't been to base camp, you got to get there. If you've been invited and haven't gone, you should take that offer next time it comes to you. Because that's where you get to sit with the owners. Ooh. Hey, Amy Culver. You get to sit with the owners and you get to hear from them in a way that it's just different from stage. And it was Scooter. Scooter's our senior vice president at Trinot. And they had all of us at the end share an aha moment. And then they had the corporate staff share theirs. And Scooter got up at the end and he said, these guys are who they say they are. And they don't, basically his whole point was they are who they say they are. They don't lose. They're fighting for you. You do realize that they understand we're the asset, right? Like them providing us with the absolute best means that we grow, they make more money, which means we make more money, right? Like they understand we're the asset. And they genuinely fight and do the right thing to try to make sure that we have the smoothest path possible. And it's so cool. It's so cool to get to be a part of it and get to say that I am partnered. Like I'm so proud of it. And it doesn't make me any difference if they screw up because I screw up. How many of you messed up in your business? Maybe you didn't lead as well as you should have. Maybe you didn't show up for something you knew you should have, right? Like we're just humans, and so are they. So they can have a pass for making goofy mistakes, just like I need them for making goofy mistakes. But really, at the end of the day, you are capable of anything you want. Anything you want to do, you're capable of. Lisa Ann, you're capable of anything you set your mind to. You've already proven you have more what it takes than most because I don't ever jump on a Zoom and your face isn't there. Most people have reasons why they can't show up to everything. You're not any less busy. Amy Culver, you built 2 successful businesses. You're capable of being diamond. I've seen your comment. So many of you are hanging on to something that isn't true about you. And I want you just to let it go. It's not the truth about you. And even if once upon a time it was true about me that I wasn't headed in any great direction, but I just decided to make a different choice. And I feel like I've failed you by not painting a good enough picture. Because, like, why am I so excited about the peps? Why is my inbox so on fire and some of you aren't? Well, that means I've not painted the picture well enough for you to understand where we are and where we're headed. This isn't, we're not launching a lip gloss. We're not launching eyelashes. I mean, we are, but that's another story for another day. We're not launching another protein powder. We're not launching another supplement. We're not, you guys, what we're launching is bigger than tech. Do you understand that? Like, truly, do you understand when I say it's bigger than tech? What all does tech involve? It's bigger than tech. It's not projected to be 100 million. It's built hundreds of billions, which if you can wrap your head around how much closer that is to a trillion. And we're just trying to take a little sliver of that. Most people, I was talking to Amy Culver a little bit this morning, most people are that you know, if they're not talking about it, are already using PEPs. How many of you know a diabetic? Put a 1 in the chat if you know a diabetic that's on insulin. That's a peptide. Wait, what? What do you mean? How many of you know someone that takes our collagen? Put a 2 in the chat. It's a peptide. How many of you know someone that's on a Sema or a Terzet or a Retta? Put a 3 in the chat. Maybe it's you. I'm on it now. I'm on Terzet. And I would have told you flat out, I will never. And I ain't doing it for weight loss. I did it because I thought I was losing my whole mind in menopause, willing to do anything to feel better. How many of you know someone now that's on BP 157, glutathione, any longevity? There's so many out there now. I could list them for days. Did you know there's one that makes you tanner? I bought it. If y'all see me looking like a Puerto Rican, you'll know why. Okay. Trying to look like my grandkids. They're not Puerto Rican, but they have the most beautiful skin. That's not really why I'm doing it. Listen, I'm one of those people, I'm like, will it work? Like, if I use it, will I get tanner? Like, I'm just curious. So my point is, you already know people that are using them. So what does that mean? I need you to understand something. if I sell shampoo and you use shampoo, and I say, hey, Benny, why don't you use my shampoo and just swap with what you're already using? And if you refer it to someone, you could make a little extra income. I'm not asking her to spend more money. She's already using shampoo. If you're already using a pep and you can just swap and use mine with an opportunity attached to it, why would you not? And you do realize we're not stopping at these few that we're launching, right? Like I think it's 6 that we're launching. Is that right? I mean, there's different variations of them, so it looks like more than that, but I think it's just 6 that we're launching. Look, Aaron, I'm gonna let you say it because you didn't sign an NDA and I did. What did they say at base camp that would be coming through this? Do you remember?
Skincare.
But there was one more.
You remember?
Mm-mm.
You lack it.
Oh,
Was
Oh,
there one for helping marriages?
minoxidil. I don't know if they said it specifically that way, but
hair growth.
hair growth.
Yeah. Are you hearing this? So you mean, wait a minute. I'm going to be able to refer somebody to Bell MD and they're just going to be able to get all those things? Wait, what? That's crazy. People are already doing it. Let me just explain this to you. I have a very successful nurse practitioner friend who owns her own telehealth deal with exactly some of what we're launching. And for a year or two, she's been living the high life. I'm not even joking. She's been making money hand over fist. Like, I mean, she's traveling, taking her vacation and traveling. And you just know money's happening. Except what she found after a few years was that she also has to be at her facility and doesn't have the freedom. And she's like, okay, talk to me. Talk to me about it. What are you going to get that I don't have? How does it work? Like, I got her on the phone with Craig when we were at base camp. Really, Santa, seen your comment. Why am I telling you that? Because you know people who will take a look at this that might not have taken a look at anything else that you've had. Did you hear Sonara say last night that she got somebody that has an IV clinic? IV clinics are everywhere. You probably don't even know they exist. It's shocking to me that there are people that don't know about IV clinics. Because I go to them anytime I start to feel a scratchy in my throat. I'm getting pumped full of vitamin C and zinc. Go to those places. If they have a way that they don't have to employ doctors and nurses, that they could offer that to their patients already with a scan of a QR code, they would. I don't know an entrepreneur that doesn't want to make more money. I've never heard an entrepreneur say, nah, I don't want to make more money. I'm good. I'm making plenty. Put on your best shirt. Fix your hair. Unless you're Aaron. And just go ask. What's the worst thing that can happen? You're right where you are. Nothing changes. You're just still going to be where you are. Shine your bald spot. Right? Whatever you got to do. Shine your dome. Is that what they call it? Your dome. But just go do it and understand how big it is, you guys. It is so big. It is so big. Here's what I can promise you. There will be multiple millionaires made. I'm not even going to share this recording because I just said that and I ain't trying to have the FTC come after me. So when somebody asks for the recording, say you should have showed up because Tina isn't sharing it now. But it's true. Multiple millionaires will be made because of this launch. They really will. If you'll get out of your own way and you'll just go share with everyone that you know that you have it. And if you get, because one of the things, I got the sweetest message from Jerry-Lynn. Jerry-Lynn met me in 2020 when I went viral during COVID. That was super fun. And she is very much does everything the holistic route. And so when she first heard about it, I'm sure many of you felt this way. You're like, oh, I don't know. Like, weren't we supposed to be not that? And we're that. And so she just had to sit with it for a little bit. She just had to sit with it and figure out how to process and how she was going to present it and, you know, all those things. Right. And she was like, but don't I want to help all people and not just some people? Was what she finally came down to. Don't I want to help all people and not just some people? That's all. I just want to help all people. Because trust me when I tell you this, if Aaron decides Aaron's going to go get on Sima or Tuzep or whatever, he's going to do it whether he gets it from me or not. Why not he get it from me? And then I can also give him all the other amazing things that we offer, the culture and community that we offer. It just makes a difference when you just shift one thing, right? Just one thing. I just want to help all the people. Makes all the sense in the world. All right, guys. All right, I'm going to pray for you and then we're going to get off here and I just want to go talk to people. Will you just go talk to people? Will you do the next thing you know you need to do? And I want to be clear. I want you to post on social media. I do. But posting on social media will not make you rich. Only talking to humans will move your business forward. I hope you post and it goes insanely viral and it gives you more people to talk to. I really, truly do. But your next right thing you need to do is you need to go talk to people. And I'm personally sending Jen and Nicolette's video until I make a shorter one. Because there's nothing out there short that I love. And so I'm just going to send the long one. And I just tell them, listen, Amy, it's longer than I would like it to be. But there's so much good information, we just couldn't make it shorter. So put it on 2x speed, girl, and you'll be done in 20 minutes. And just leave it at that. We've posted in the groups, Julie, and so you can message me if you need to, and I can send it to you if you don't have it, but it is in the group. But I will send it to you too. We'll just, and I think if it's not pinned, we'll pin it. How about that? Aaron, why don't you go? I don't know if you can, because yesterday I got crazy about admins when the Dowds and Deebles lost their Facebook group. Not because I think Aaron's going to do anything wrong, but we're just going to prove everything. Hang on, let me go do that now. Because if I don't do it right this second, guess who will forget? The second I'm off here. Look, and then here it is. All right, I'm going to pin it. No, that's the wrong one. Hang on. Oh, did it not get posted in here? Will someone post that video in the group? Because I'm not seeing it. I thought it was there. Shame on me. Well, thank you, Julie, for bringing that up. Yeah, I'm gonna create a video, a shorter one. I got to put on some makeup and a better outfit, but I will. Yeah, I have the video. I can do it. Hang on, let me just go do it real quick. It'd be faster if I just go grab it and do it. Who sent it to me?
Renee just shared the link of the video in the comments section right here. So
Renee, can you post it in our group?
Sure, you'll just have to approve it.
Yeah, no, I will. And yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you so much. All right, let me pray for you
You're
guys.
welcome.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for Tuesday mornings. I love them so much. I love the people that get on. I love the word that you give. And Lord, I just pray that those that are struggling to believe, Lord, that you'll just remind them in your word, that they'll open up your word and they'll be reminded of who they are in you. If they are created in your likeness, called with a purpose, if you knew them before you formed them in their mother's womb, Lord, then they have a plan and a purpose on their life, Lord. And the enemy's been working their entire life to make them believe something wildly different. And Lord, I just pray that you would just nudge them where they need it and when they need it and remind them of who they are. Maybe it's something that they see, something that they read, a phone call that they get, a message that they get that just continues to remind them of who they are. Lord, I pray that you would give each person that's watching this the courage to just break out and go create something so big with this opportunity, Lord. I pray anyone on here that's struggling with belief that even this is the right thing for Trinite to add, Lord, that you would just work on that with them and through them, Lord, that they would just be more open to understanding that people are going to use these things and you have the opportunity to share that with them. And if you don't want to, Lord, there's so many other amazing things that Trinite has. They built hundreds of millions of dollars on what we already have. And Lord, I just pray for our owners. I pray as we go into this launch, and I pray for the corporate staff. Lord, I pray that you are working right now in the midst of what's going on, Lord. I know that they want a smooth launch as much as we want a smooth launch, Lord. And I just pray that you are right in the middle of all of that. You're helping them make every next right decision. You're helping the staff do every next right thing to make this amazing for us. And Lord, I pray that people wouldn't be afraid to send those messages, that you would just give them boldness today. Lord, I pray that you would send people from the north, the south, the east, and the west, that their name would already be on their heart, Lord. Lord, I thank you that you can do so much more than we can even imagine. And I pray that you would do that in each and every person that's on here today. And Lord, anyone that's hurting, anyone that's suffering, anyone that's struggling mentally, Lord, I just pray that you help them to find peace and healing. Lord, I pray that you remind them of your word that says, I did not give you a spirit of fear, but of one of peace, love, and a sound mind. And that they just say that to themselves over and over and over again until it becomes true for them. And Lord, I pray all these things in your name. Amen. All righty, friends. If you need
Thank
me,
you,
you know where to
Tina.
find me. Bye, you guys.
Thank you, Tina.
You're welcome.